G'day Roosters. How do you create a site plan from the free data sets that are available on the internet? For example, this model here of this site plan, we've got the boundary information, which was downloaded as an SHX file from the land titles office or data set. And then we have the contour model, which was from LIDAR information, which was a GeoTIF file or TIF file. And that's created a reasonably good site plan with boundaries, north, coordinates, and elevation. Now this type of site plan, it's good for desktop study, it's good for concept plan, it's not accurate enough for detailed civil engineering, so don't use it for that. So how do we go about creating that? So this site that I'm looking at is in Tasmania, Australia, so looking at the Australian tools that you can get this information for, Elvis is a good one, elevation.fsdf.org.au, but Elvis is a much better name. I've noticed that there's similar types of things in different places in the world, but this one we'll just put in a location search here. We'll go to Ellendale. Should just pick it up. Ellendale, yep, Tasmania. We'll zoom in there to our site. That is correct. We want this corner block here going down to the river and across these two streets. So I'll go order data, polygon, and just draw around our site, across the road. Down this road here, and then double click to finish. And we'll search for that data. And it'll give us a bunch of different options. Both of these are probably pretty good, but I'm going to go for the Tas government ones. Now the DEM, digital elevation model, is what we're looking at, and remember that DEM because we'll use that later in Civil 3D. It has a bunch of data sets in here. Now these two I've already downloaded already. This one's south, this one's north of the site, and this one actually covers everything that I need, so I only need that file. So you just fill out the industry, put your email in, and order the data set. Now it'll email you a zip file, and in that zip file you'll have a TIF and a DWF file, so you get this information. Note the DEM there, that's important. Now as far as our cadastral information goes, I've got the map, maps.list.tas.gov.au. This is one place you can get it from. You can also get LIDAR information from here as well, but I'll just show you that other website to start with. So once again, we've got our site there, so that's great. Now we want to add a layer, get rid of that, add a layer, and we want cadaster boundary lines with accuracy. That will be good enough. I'll take that. So there, you just go up to Tools, Export Data, put in your email address. Yes, I want that layer, and I just want the ESRI shapefile, and then hit Export Features, and it'll send it to you. Now, what you'll get from that is all of this stuff. Now, this is the one, or is it this one? SHP or SHX? I think it's that one that we import, but we'll look at that later. So you get that sort of stuff. Now let's go back to Civil 3D. So we are in Civil 3D, not just straight AutoCAD here. I've got I've got a Civil 3D template, a reasonable one that makes it easier to work with. First of all, the data sets that we ordered have a coordinate system in them. So let's bring in the boundaries first. So the command for that is map import, map, IMPORT, import the map. Oh yes, it is the SHP file that we bring in. So that, I'll just go all of those so you can see that's the files that we downloaded. And we are going to use the SHP file. It'll give you another box after that, and it gives you the coordinate system, map grid of Australia, zone 55, which is good. That's the coordinates we are common. I have no coordinate system in this current drawing, so it's going to just use that one, which is good. I have imported that boundaries, which is great, so I can zoom in on that. We can have a look at the layer. In this case, it brought it with boundary lines with accuracy. I'll just leave that layer. That seems logical. And now I want to bring in my TIF digital elevation model, which will show my contours. Now in surfaces, in the prospector in Civil 3D, I have already created a surface in here called NS, or natural surface. There's no definition on it. In surface properties, just clicking on surface properties, I do have it already set up as contours existing 0.5 meters, and just check a few things. Display major and minor contours are on, and my contour intervals are minors. That's a funny, I might change that to 5. Minor interval at 0.5 and major intervals at 2.5. I'll leave it at 2.5. It doesn't really matter for this exercise. Now, what we need to do here is go down to DEM files. Remember how I said digital elevation models? Well, this is how you bring in a TIF file. Click on that, click add, right, so right click on it, click add. Then you'll have another box that'll come up that says add DEM file. You just go up to this little thing up, Duvalaki up here, which will link you to your folder. So that's where the folder I had that data in set that I showed you before in. So if I do star.star there, you can see it's got the TFW and the TIF file, but we're using the GeoTIF, which is a digital elevation model, not a graphic, which is a similar name, like a JPEG. So just go OK on that. So we bring that in, go OK. It will take a little while, not too long. It might not show everything straight away because of your zoom. Yeah, because there's a fair bit there. When you zoom in, you'll see more contours will pop up. So what I want to do now is just put a boundary around that and clip that. So I'm just going to go polyline and just draw a box around the site so I can crop the contours. And I shall put it on a layer. I shall put it on a layer that I have. Have I created one already? Contour crop boundary layer. Now with that, I'll just show you what I've done with that layer. I did create that earlier. So contour crop boundary, I do have this little thing here is not printable, so this boundary doesn't print out. We can leave it on the screen. It's a bit like def points. So back in my prospector now, just go to boundaries, go add, so right click on that, add a boundary. You'll get this box come up, and I won't call it anything and make it non-destructive. Click OK on that and then select my boundary. So there's my contours. Now the only other thing I want to do is add some labels. So surface, I'm on the annotate ribbons, add labels, surface, contour multiple. Just click on that surface and then I shall just run, just do that again, I'll just run some contours down there. Labels, since you can see it's 239 meters, 240 meters above sea level, this site. So that's it. That's how you create a site plan from the free data that's available on the internet.